When your cat licks you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, it feels sweet, maybe even a little strange, but behind that simple action, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most intimate things your cat can do. And if you ignore it or respond the wrong way, which most owners do, you might be missing a message about how your cat truly feels about you. Let's start with what that gentle licking really means. Have you ever felt your cat start licking your hand and thought, oh, they're just cleaning me? Most people assume it's just grooming behavior, something automatic, something instinctive. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat isn't just cleaning you, they're communicating with you. In the feline world, grooming isn't just about hygiene, it's social. Cats groom each other to strengthen bonds, reduce tension, and signal trust. It's called allo-grooming, and it only happens between cats who feel safe with each other. So when your cat licks you, they're treating you like another cat they trust. Think about that for a second. Out of everyone in your home, they chose you for this behavior. And by the way, if your cat ever licks you and then suddenly nips or bites gently right after, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means later, and it's something most owners wish they understood sooner. Because this isn't random. This is your cat saying, in their own way, "You're part of my world." Now here's where it gets even more powerful. A 2019 study from the University of Lincoln on feline social behavior found that grooming behaviors in cats are closely tied to emotional regulation and bonding. But what does that actually mean for you? Here's what's actually happening. When your cat licks you, their brain releases calming chemicals. It lowers stress. It creates a sense of safety. Animal cognition research shows that repetitive grooming behaviors can actually reduce anxiety in cats, much like how humans use repetitive habits to self-soothe. So when your cat licks you, they're not just bonding, they're calming themselves down in your presence. Think about that for a second. Out of everything in their environment, you are what makes them feel safe enough to relax. That gentle rhythm of their tongue, that's not random. That's your cat regulating their emotions with you as their anchor. And here's what most people don't realize. This means your presence isn't just comforting, it's stabilizing. Have you ever noticed your cat licking you and then rubbing their face against you right after? Most people think that's just affection stacked together, but here's what's actually happening. Your cat is marking you. Cats have scent brands in their cheeks, tongues, and even saliva. When they lick you, they're leaving behind invisible chemical signals, pheromones. These signals say one thing: this is mine. This is safe. So when your cat licks you, they're not just bonding, they're claiming you as part of their territory. Think about that for a second. Not in a possessive way, but in a deeply emotional one. You're not just someone they live with, you're part of their identity. What makes this even more meaningful is cats don't mark things they don't trust. So every time your cat licks you, they're reinforcing a connection, a shared space, a shared life. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. To really understand this, you have to go back to the very beginning of a cat's life. Have you ever seen a mother cat grooming her kittens? It looks gentle, nurturing, almost automatic. But here's what's actually happening. That licking is survival. Mother cats groom their kittens to clean them, stimulate their bodies, and most importantly, bond with them. It's the first form of love a kitten ever experiences. So when your adult cat licks you, they're tapping into that same ancient behavior. They're treating you like family, like someone they trust at the deepest, most instinctual level. Think about that for a second. This isn't something your cat learned yesterday. This behavior is wired into them from birth, passed down through generations, and somehow they've chosen to direct it at you. What makes this even more powerful is, in the wild, grooming strengthens group survival. It builds alliances. It creates trust between members of a colony. So when your cat licks you, they're not just being affectionate, they're including you in their inner circle. Now ask yourself this: does your cat lick every person the same way, or is it just you? Most people don't think about this, but here's what's actually happening. Cats are selective, extremely selective. Behavioral scientists have observed that cats reserve grooming behaviors for individuals they trust deeply, not just tolerate, not just live with, trust. That means if your cat licks you, it's not random, it's personal. They're choosing you over everyone else. Think about that for a second. Out of everyone they could interact with, you are the one they feel safe enough to groom. This is where most owners get it wrong. They assume all affection is equal, but it's not. Some behaviors are casual. This one isn't. This one is earned, and it tells you exactly how your cat sees you, not as a caretaker, but as their person. Now, remember earlier when I said if your cat licks you and then suddenly nips you or bites you gently right after, don't ignore it? This is what I was talking about. Have you ever experienced this? Your cat is licking you gently and then suddenly a soft bite. It feels confusing, maybe even like rejection, but here's what's actually happening. That bite isn't aggression, it's communication. In feline social behavior, grooming often includes gentle nipping. It's how cats signal boundaries. Okay, that's enough. I'm getting overstimulated. Animal behavior studies show that cats have very low thresholds for sensory overload. Too much stimulation, even something positive, can become uncomfortable. So that bite is your cat being honest with you. Think about that for a second. They trust you enough to set a boundary. They're not walking away, they're telling you in real time how they feel. What makes this even more meaningful is cats don't communicate like this with just anyone. They do it with those they feel safe around. So even in that moment, that tiny bite is still part of the bond. Now here's the part most owners never think about. What happens when your cat suddenly stops licking you? At first, it might not seem like a big deal, but here's what's actually happening. A change in grooming behavior can signal something deeper. Studies on domestic cats reveal that shifts in social behaviors, like grooming, are often linked to stress, illness, or emotional changes. If your cat used to lick you and suddenly doesn't, that's not random, that's a signal. Think about that for a second. Your cat is telling you something changed. Maybe they're stressed, maybe they're not feeling well, maybe something in their environment feels off. This is where most owners miss it, because they focus on the presence of behavior, but the absence is just as important. So if it stops, don't ignore it. Pay attention, because sometimes what your cat doesn't do says more than what they do. So when your cat licks you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? It's not just grooming, it's not just a habit, it's your cat bonding with you, calming themselves with you, marking you as part of their world, and trusting you at a level they don't give to just anyone. That's not a simple behavior. That's connection. That's trust. That's your cat choosing you again and again in the only language they have. And that small moment, that quiet, gentle lick, it was never small to them. And it shouldn't be small to you either.